All right, guys, welcome back. Yesterday I went out to Tillery again, and I found some. I mean, I found a lot of good fish out there, a lot of crappie out there. But today I'm just gonna do a setup like what I've been using. I had some subscriber ask me what I've been using and how I've been tying my jigs and then I'm just gonna cover that, and then after that, that cover the cover of what my setup is. I will show you guys like a little more clips of what I caught yesterday, and we can go from there. A couple days ago, I made my custom rod, my Phenix Mirage. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'll try to get it as close as I can, or if it can stay focused. Well, this is a Phenix Mirage. It's a 7.7, and I love this rod. I used to have a 7.1, but my 7.1 broke, and actually that was my fault. And I shouldn't have done that, but that's a long story. But definitely, on this setup, how I built it, from the cork in to this is about like 14 inches, and I like a longer handle on the back. Some people don't, but that's just a preference. Since I've been building, the only time that I will go to like 12 inches or under is if a rod is really, 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 really small. But other than that, anything that's really like 7 foot, I usually try to go to like 14 and up, depending on what the application I'm looking for. And you guys can see on this backside, it's got a weighted weight on this backside right here. And my son decided to come into the screen last moment. Say hi to the YouTubers.
What's up?
All right. Well, you go watch Ryan. And it's got a weighted butt side. I use this as a counterweight for myself. That when the rod's out there, it's not really balanced because I have a weighted jig in the front side that I'll show you guys, but it's really well balanced. What I have here is a Shimano Stratic 1000. It's a HG model, and they do have several version, another version if I'm not mistaken. But JDM makes it, and it's a shallow spool, and it's got a lower gear ratio. But I got my lever knob here as well. These are all from Japan. And like I said, this is how my setup is at. Come down, and I'm trying to get focused with you guys. And I got my KLH guides from Fuji, all the way down. Here's my setup from yesterday, and down to the tip. There's about a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have a total of 11 guides on this rod in particular. I'll be honest, like a lot of manufacturers, I haven't even seen a lot of manufacturers come up with that many guides on a spinning rod. So, I found through building it that it's a more balanced rod, and I can do a lot more with it. Casting, you name it. So, to get to where I was catching them yesterday, I have to get this set up ready for you guys. All right. I was actually using this Notorious two-tail, and I wasn't using this one in particular. I'll show you guys right here in a little bit, but it's tied with this, and it's got a pink head, and it has eyeballs on it. Man, I think that yesterday was the trigger to get more bites. I noticed the fish, they were very finicky, and this is a two inch version of my buddy Notorious two tail, and you can see it splits here, and this one is made by him. It's not something that's already out on the market. He's got his I know you guys can't see it, but he's got his logo stamped in the jig itself, and it's NCJ. You know, when he was living in North Carolina here with us, and I mean, the only thing I could tell you guys is he makes great jigs. I mean, it's beyond what I can imagine. You know, colors that comes up on my in my head that I know that will work. You know, I'll get with him, and you know, we'll usually come up with a scheme pattern, and usually, you know, it'll end up either good or it's bad. I mean, it's never where the color will come up and we think that it's gonna bite, and sometimes we won't even get a bite out of it, and that's just the way of custom jigs and colors. So this one I had particularly yesterday on, but this was not the one that I had like a lot of bites. But this one in general, when I had like big slabs slam it, I mean they slammed it. But they did kind of hesitant because of the size of the profile. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one away and show you the two that I was catching them yesterday. So you guys bear with me, right? Got it right here with me. All right. So yesterday I was actually catching them on this one in particular too as well. You know, I got a bright chartreuse jighead with some eyeballs, and this is the Notorious 1.5 split tail minnow, and the top part, it's got gold glitters, clear gold glitters with, you know, some black specks in it. And the bottom side is it's a I wouldn't say it's a pearl belly, but it's more like a clear pearl belly. So with this, I had like a lot of success. Okay, it wasn't like the best, but really, I mean, I did real good with this, especially like if I had tied it from the bottom and this on the top, they would hit both of these. It didn't matter what it is. But this is a 1/16. So what I usually do is I usually put the 1/16 on the bottom side and leave the 1/32 on the top. You know, you really don't want to do like a 1/32 on the bottom and 1/16 on the top. When you throw it out there, you'll get like tanglements and all that stuff, and you definitely don't want to be doing that especially when you're fishing and you're trying to target these crappie. But that is one, and his split tail minnow there. I used to have it in the super minnow color, but since I don't have it now, that's a color that I ran out, and I don't know how they'll react to it. But with that being, you know, a gold setup with pearl belly, clear gold belly, I mean a clear pearl belly. My tongue almost got stuck there for a second. All right. So with that, I was getting a lot of good reactions to it. They did hesitant. Some crappie did follow it, but never commit to it. And, you know, especially when you have live scope, it's kind of annoying. I hate to say it, but you'll get the biggest dot and they're just following your bait all the way. You can see them. They're just right by it, but they won't bite it. And the reason why I think they don't is because of the just the color in general. You know, it's part of something that's uh getting their attention, and they want to come and look at it and see whether or not they want to commit to it. But if it's a color that they're slamming it when they swim up, and you can see them on the live scope, they'll swim up. When they hit it, I mean, it's immediate reaction on it. And usually the ones that swim up like that, they'll usually commit. But you do have some that will come and just look at it and then turn around, which, oh boy, it makes your day go by really, really, really bad. But this one in general was my meal ticket. It's a black, okay, has a neon tail, and if you guys can look at it, it's the same profile. It's got like two tails, two little tiny tails, and you can just see, for me holding it right here, that you can see how it's already wiggling. I mean, like, I'm not even doing much. I'm trying to hold it still the best I can, but it's just moving. All it's doing, and it's moving. And, you know, I got my hot pink head with eyes. And this deadly combo yesterday, I had caught majority of my big slabs on this in particular. So, you know, further to do, you know, color does play into role. I remember back then they used to say, color don't matter, fish is colorblind, and not really. Color makes a big difference. Sometimes I even seen where I ran into it where if it's a laminate, I mean, and it'll be the same color scheme, and the fish won't bite. I mean, go figure. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. I guess it's the nature of the fish and how they see it and how it wants to be presented. So with this setup, it's killer. And I actually have my buddy, Mr. Notorious, make one in the same profile, but it has like an orange tail, which last year he made me some in the 2-inch singers, and I had great results with it. I mean, during this winter time, I don't know if that color scheme is just what they're feeding on or what they're doing, but I'll find out once I get it from him. I'll see whether or not that color is still like a hot color. So with all these, you know, just get with him. Like I said, I always tell you guys, I have like a arsenal of colors. You have to have a lot of colors, a lot of different profiles, a lot of everything. Because if you don't, and you don't go prepared out on the lakes, you know, I hate to tell you guys, but most likely you guys will go out there and you'll end up what they call skunk. You'll skunk on that lake. And I used to always hate it, like, before I didn't have the Garmin Live Scope. You know, I knew where the fish were at, but I just didn't know exactly the depth of where it was at. And yes, now that we're talking a little bit about the Garmin Live Scope, you know, I can get a little bit into it. I do have some people that do say that, you know, they could fish without the Garmin Live Scope and still catch fish, and it's great. It's great for them, you know. But in my honest opinion, before I didn't have the Garmin Live Scope, you know, I can actually say I did pretty good. I knew exactly where the brush piles were at. I'll have everything set up for me to mark the brush piles. Everything, I knew exactly where the drop off were at and where I could see fish on my Humminbird side image. But Garmin is just, I mean, they're just a game changer. I don't know what else to tell you guys. I mean, they exploded into the scene, and since I've got the Garmin Live Scope, I can be honest, like I haven't skunked. I mean, I might have a bad day, and my bad day is probably catching like, 5 to 10 fish, and I had that during the summertime when it was probably like the hottest, and I was still trying to figure out this Garmin life scope. So, but besides that, I mean, if you want my honest opinion about Garmin life scope, yes, it is worth every penny if you know how to use the electronics. I seen guys where they would buy like the best electronics, like Lowrance, Humminbird, Ray Marines, and they have everything that's available in the technology where it comes to sight image, down image, and a lot of guys don't know how to use it. And I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not picking on anybody out there. I've seen it, I've seen it hands-on many times, and a lot of guys aren't doing the research on how to use sight image, on how to use the down image. And the only tip that I can give to you guys is that if you guys do go that route, learn how to use your electronics, because that's what's gonna help you the most. Especially like if I didn't have Garmin Life Scope, like, I found that brush piles are a lot of them is gonna be into like deep coves. Look on the side of the lake. It don't depend on. It doesn't matter what side of the lake. Most brush piles that people will throw, they'll be between 10 to like 25 foot to even 30 foot. And once you guys figure that out, when you guys start finding brush piles, I mean, crappie are just about well, I wouldn't say they're the only fish that stays on the brush pile, but when you find them, I mean, they're in schools. They're like in hundreds to even thousands, I mean, but other than that, I mean, I did have a subscriber that did mention to me that, you don't really need all this electronic stuff and the rods like I got set up. And yeah, he is right. I don't, in particular, I know I mentioned to a couple people out there that, everybody is on a price, and I completely understand that. It's some people just don't make as much as other people, which is fine. You guys don't even really need the setup, the same setup that I got. You really don't need the setup to catch crappie or any fish in general. You don't. You can just have a rod and a reel, a hook, jig, with a floater. I mean, with just a sinking jig head, and you can catch fish, and that is completely true. But me in general, I just don't. I mean, I'm a hardcore fisherman, so to me, everything from a balanced rod to a balanced reel, it counts tremendous for me. Like, I cannot go back to like Walmart or even Bass Pro and fish their rods because the weight of it is just so heavy that actually my arms would start to hurt. And that's just me in general. Like, I just can't go back that way. That's why I went building my own rods, because of that particular reason. Like, and you guys don't mind the background. My kids, they're actually home from the COVID, so just bear with me. But other than that, I mean, to that subscriber that have mentioned it, and yeah, you are right. I mean, you don't have to have like a rod that's expensive like this, and you really don't. There are just people out there that do like a nice rod, a balanced rod, a rod that's made from a well-known company that, that do build excellent blanks, or just the rods in general. So, this is one of my setups that I do mainly for just like panfish and trout fishing. And I actually got two more that I'll be building soon. That Phenix is actually sending them back to me. That well, they didn't mess up, but they actually sent me the wrong action rod. So I forgot to mention on my Mirage here that this is a moderate action. So that means that this rod's got bend in it, and which is good. I do prefer like a fast action to extra fast, but this is about the only rod that I would get that I done fish, and I done fish G Loomis ultralight rod. I can't remember what model. I think it's a Trout series, if I'm not mistaken. But no knocks to the G Loomis. I love that company, and the NRX and everything. Oh man, like I was a big fan of the G Loomis NRX, and until I started building my own rods and I started to find out what components they're using. Yeah, I mean, I'll never compete with that company because I just won't make it out there. But in general, like I know what to do to build to make my rod more balanced and more lightweight. What I will spend for a G Loomis NRX, I can actually make like 2 to 3 rods. That, in my opinion, is a whole lot better. The only thing that I don't have is just a warranty back on it. But other than that, I really don't mind it because I build my own rods. So now I'm saving like a ton of money. Like this setup right here, before I stopped building to the public, I stopped building it for several reasons. I had a lot of money invested into, the stuff that I did. And when the cost came up to building like a real nice rod like this itself came up, there was a lot of my customers that they just couldn't afford it. And which I go back again, it's completely understandable. There's nothing that they're doing wrong on their side. It's just it's just a cost. And it hurts me on my side because I put a lot of time and effort into it. But it's okay. I'm still in a win-win situation because I'm such a diehard hardcore fisherman that building my own rods, I'm actually saving a whole lot of money compared to before then. Like I will get like these expensive rods going like 400 to 500. And yeah, I mean, there are good and bad. And I mean, I won't get into it because it'll probably be like a long section of us talking about it. But other than that, I mean, I am very, very happy of what I'm building. I'm building for myself. It's a one of a kind rod. I encourage people that, if you guys want to learn how to build rods, go ahead and build it. I mean, you guys will learn a ton. You will, yeah, you might will end up spending a lot of money to the begin with to get all your equipment ready. But once you have all your equipment ready, oh man, like rods itself in general, I mean, I can build a rod really if I had like all the stuff, like all the curing process, cure like real quick. I could actually build a rod under a day. But I like to go the safest route and the proper way amount of building a rod. I like my stuff to cure. So once it cures, then I'll start building like the guides and stuff like that. That's why it takes me like 2 days to build. So when it comes to like back then when I was pricing builds for people, yeah, it kind of like discouraged them away because of the price, in which I want people to understand it don't matter if you get it through me back then or you getting it through another guy that's custom building a rod. You're not paying for the rod itself. You're paying for the guy's time really, because it takes a lot of the guy's time out from his family and you know, things that he had to do that day to get the rod ready for you as a customer. So, you know, I want just to be known to guys out there that really don't know, and they always question like, man, why do these people always, you know, these custom rods cost more than the actual rod that's built from the factory? Is because you're paying for their time, you know, and it's a one of a kind rod. It's, you know, if I would have broke this rod right now, there are some of the components that I probably couldn't keep no more, is because of the material that I use to set this thing up. I mean, it's hard to take these stuff off. It's not easy. So, but you know, we can get that to another time. But other than that, you know, I built another Phenix Recon. Oh man, I love that blank. But you know, once I start fishing it, once the stripers or the largemouth, or you know, just a bigger fish in general start picking up on it, you know, I will get into it. But I don't see myself fishing it yet because the striper season had like subsided. I'm not saying that I couldn't find them. I just haven't been targeting them. So that in general, I'll get back to you guys on it. I actually got 2 on that, and I got 2 Phenix dragonflies that are coming, and you guys stay tuned. Yeah, those are going to be part of one of my sickest rods that I'm probably going to build, and I look forward to building it. Because as I just keep building, my mind's just racing, and I know exactly what I want on those rods that will make it to where like I like them. It's just my liking. But other than that, I wanna do a shout out to Notorious Custom Jigs. Thanks. You know, you've been a great friend to me, and I want people to understand that you know, finding friends that are loyal to you is very hard. And you know, I mean, I fished with this guy right when I think he was about to start his own the Notorious, and I learned a lot from him, and we both did. But other than that, you know, you guys do it. You know, if you guys see anything that you guys like here, you know, just get with him. You know, I can't speak for him himself, but you guys can just see what kind of color scheme he's got, and he'll make custom colors. It don't matter what it is. I know that he can try his best to match what you guys want. But other than that, get with my buddy Ghost Jigheads. I know at times he might be a little busy. He's a little backed up right now. So if you guys are a little patient, just give him some time. And I know for sure, definitely he would get back with you guys on it. And, you know, I just got to thank both these guys out there that are helping me and supporting me through making these videos. But other than that, you know, I wish you guys happy fishing out there. You guys be safe. I know COVID's out there, and so, you know, I don't want to jump into a lot of that COVID stuff, but, you know, it is serious out there. I want a lot of my friends and family and all you YouTubers to take precaution out there. You know, try to distance yourself, wear a mask, and you guys just be safe out there. And I will be making more videos for you guys. You guys just stay tuned, and just remember, hit my likes, my subscribe, and when I get to that 1,000 subscriber, you know, you guys never know, I might even start building that rod before I do the giveaway. And I'm just gonna give you guys a word of advice that I probably will make that rod pretty like a sick looking rod. I mean, it would be an expensive rod if I would have built it for someone else. So I do have a couple stuff that I had laid out that I'm thinking in my mind what I want to do a giveaway for you guys. So you guys just, you know, just keep hitting that like and just keep subscribing. And when I get really close, I would do something. I will go maybe on my Facebook page, and I would do like a raffle or something. I haven't really thought about it yet, and I'll just go from there. All right, so you guys just stay tuned. You guys just be safe again out there, and you guys just be good, and we'll do more fishing for you guys. All right. See you guys.